What is going on, guys? This is Joe Young coming at you with another video today. Today, doing something a little different. I'm going to give you guys a quick update on all three of these tanks. I normally do one by one, but I've been kind of really falling behind in terms of making the updates for the videos, especially if I'm doing once a week or twice a week. I have so many tanks I can't really keep up. So I'm going to kind of do global updates on tanks that I don't really have big updates for, and these tanks here, they've been kind of just running and really not much of an update going on. So I'm going to go ahead and just update you guys on all three tanks. Alright, so starting with the Wabikusa waterfall tank, not much has gone on with this tank. I did do trimmings on the very top here. They have the covers on, I'm not going to take them off. I'm just going to kind of give you guys a brief update on it. But the plants are doing really well, trimmed a bunch of times, actually several times, and they're growing back again. The middle Wabikusa here, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I have some Pinto growing on here, immersed, and they were doing pretty well, but not sure what I want to keep there, so I may switch up the middle Wabikusa ball. As you can see, the R8 Mini up here, the super red one looks awesome. The one over here is, I think, HC. It's been doing okay, the same HC I actually had, since last year, 2 years ago, almost. The far one on the left here is the Crypt. It's doing really well. It's, just doing its thing, growing. In terms of livestock though, let me kind of zoom in for you guys. So originally I planned on keeping some of these guys. These are the Gaaras. These are like the Dr. Fish. I saw that my fish store had a bunch of them. I went ahead and just got like a group of 6 of them. And originally I was going to put this in the angelfish tank, which I'm still not sure. I may end up putting them in there, but I kind of like them in here because one, it has like a lot of oxygen, a lot of like movement in the water here, and they like to run around a lot anyways. So I went ahead and just put them in here first for quarantining because I didn't really have any fish in here. Went ahead and quarantined them, and then I found out that they actually really enjoy this tank a lot, and with the stand and them running around, they kind of just love it just by themselves. So I may end up keeping them in here for maybe a little bit longer to see how they like it. But yeah, so that's a quick update on the waterfall tank. Really, nothing has changed. Just been doing maintenance, every week. And this is actually the maintenance day right now. I just haven't cleaned it. As you can see, like the water level is kind of low. I'll go ahead and do that after the video, actually. Alright, so moving on to the middle tank. This is my crystal red shrimp tank. It looks super clear right now, but actually I've been kind of battling algae in this tank. I've been trying to play with a bunch of parameters, trying to figure out how can I dial this in to get like a natural balance in the tank. So it looks super clear now because I've actually think I found a really good way to remove most of your algae issues and kind of reset the tank, and then figure out what's going on and redial it back in. So if this process actually continues to work for me really well, I may do a separate video on how I combat algae, really any form of algae in the tank, and it basically resets the tank, and you have to continue your maintenance, continue doing your thing. But it seems to work so far on most of my tanks that I've tried out on, and I want to see how long this would last actually. Alright, so let's talk about the fish, the livestock. The livestock has not changed. It's still the chili rasboras. They're still chilling up in here, swimming around. They're looking really nice. The plants though, same plants, not really much has changed. My Bruce philandras kind of melted back. I only have a couple of them. Initially they did really well, and then I was experimenting with Excel killed them, they grew back, and then I don't know. It's like a whole ordeal in terms of plants dying and growing back, but I kept the pink flamingos. They're not pink anymore because once they mature, they lose their color. Tried some new carpeting plants up front. It's not really growing because it's low tech. I don't really dose CO2 anymore. Just really fertilizer maybe like twice a week in the beginning of the week, so it'll last out the whole week. Yeah, so really not much in terms of livestock and plants, but the really key thing is the shrimps. As you can see, there's not any or hardly any shrimps in this tank. So I don't know what the issue is here, but pretty much this tank was doing really well for the crystal shrimps for a while. I was having issues with my blue ball tank, and I'll give you guys an update in a little bit. And then the blue ball tank kind of bounced back, and now the crystal red shrimp tank is like all dying, and I only have like maybe a few of them. So not sure what's going on, but I may end up trying either crystal red shrimps again, give them a try again, I guess, and then if those don't work out, maybe go to like I don't know, something a little bit easier to keep in the tank. I am using tap water. I'm not using like RO, DI water or anything like that. Just straight tap from the the sink. So they had to do some adjustments, and I thought I had this kind of dialed in with the shrimp for a while. And I mean, they lasted like probably months and months, and then they slowly just one by one, like the adults start dying, and then like the babies couldn't keep up because the babies, they would grow to a certain size, and some would die, some would live, and it just didn't work out. So I do have like maybe like 3 or 4 adults left and a couple babies in here, and they're in the back somewhere, but we'll see if those guys are still reproducing. Probably not. If not, I'm going to go ahead and maybe order another dozen of them, give them a try one more time. If that doesn't work, then move on to a different shrimp. All right, and finally the last shrimp tank on this side. This is my blue ball tank. Like I mentioned previously, I've been having issues with the adults. Finally, the adults are bouncing back and they're growing. A lot of the juvenile baby shrimps in here have grown to sub-adults, and they're doing pretty decently. The plants are doing okay too. The stem plants in the back, they grow really slow. It's low tech, what can you say? The swords on the 2 left and right hand side over here, they're doing really well. But I haven't seen really much growth from them. They're super slow growers anyways, but I guess it's even slower with low tech. And they just kind of just sit there and chill, almost like the same leaf, the same size. They really haven't changed at all, to be honest. The Monte Carlos up front is really growing slowly, like super ultra slow. I started that patch right there and it hasn't spread at all, to be honest. So there's one blue bolt shrimp right there. That one was like a really small size blue bolt, and it finally grew up to sub-adult here. And I have a couple of them about that size in here, so it's reproducing very slow. But I'm glad that the blue bolts are able to survive in tap water, because initially I had a lot of issues in the beginning, especially for this tank. A lot of them would die off, and then the ones that would survive actually reproduce, and they're actually adjusting to the new conditions fairly well. I also added some different types of shrimps in this tank. I added Pinto shrimps, the black and white ones, and I wanted to see if we can crossbreed the blues with those blacks, just to get some different variations. I have maybe like 4 or 5 adults in there, and they were doing pretty decently the last time I checked. I don't see any right now out and about, so I can't really record them, but I know that they're in here because I've been feeding them every day, and they've been coming out to eat and chill. And the last thing in here is the fish. The fish are doing really well. There's only 6 or 7 of them in here, and they just kind of really enjoy the space and the freedom of just swimming around. I can't really say much more than that because the tank is just on cruise control right now, like all the others. Alright guys, and that's the quick update on all of these tanks here. They're pretty much on cruise control. They all are right next to each other. I don't really do much other than just feed them like daily, and then maybe once every other week clean like the filter pads to make sure that the flow is still going pretty strong. But yeah, these tanks are on cruise control for now. Alright guys, hope you guys like the update, and if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you do. Make sure you guys like and comment below, and until next time guys, peace.